Hey again, everyone in Facebook world. As promised, I hope number one that you caught my interview this morning with the amazing Dr. Deanne Golden. That was super fun. We kind of both knew we'd probably go more than 30 minutes, and we did. But I real quickly want to bring you today's whiteboard topic, and that is vomit. I think this one generated some of the most interesting conversations in my practice. So again, on your whiteboard, you would have written, "Hey, Stace. It's kind of cold here in Alaska today, right? I'm ready for the sunshine to come back." At any rate, so the word today is vomit. So you would write on your whiteboard vomit, and then I just simply ask the question of, hey, so tell me, what do you know about the vomit? So the most common thing I would hear is, well, you vomit when you were sick. So then, of course, I want to give an opposing idea or viewpoint about that. And I would simply say, all right, have you ever had food poisoning? And by God's grace, I personally have never had food poisoning, but from those that I know that have had food poisoning, it's not fun. So I'd ask them, so what happens when you have food poisoning? Vomiting and diarrhea. Absolutely. And so why do you vomit? Well, obviously it's to get the toxicity out. And this is what my practice members would say, well, to get the food out. And I'd say, exactly. So let me ask you, are you really sick then? If your body is expelling a toxicity, is that a sign of sickness or is that actually a sign of health? And of course, they're going to say, well, that's a sign of health. And I don't think you can probably hear me. Let me try this again. So that is actually a sign of health. So I'm going to rewind and say, all right, the whiteboard topic today would be vomit. And this is how I would do it with my practice members, have the word vomit written on the whiteboard. And when they would come in, I'd simply say, all right, so what do you know about vomit? And they would typically say, oh, it means your body is sick. And then I would challenge that. And I would actually then say, well, have you ever had food poisoning? And of course they would say, well, yeah, I've had food poisoning before. Thanks, Stace. And then I'd ask them, like, so what happens when you have food poisoning? And of course, then you have vomiting and diarrhea. And I'd say, well, why would you have vomiting and diarrhea? And they would answer to the effect of, well, because your body's trying to get rid of the poisoned food or the bad food. And I'd say, exactly. So let me ask you something. Is that actually sick then, or is your body healthy? And they would say, well, I guess that means I'm healthy. And I'd say, exactly. And so what that is that's a result of innate intelligence. And innate intelligence is the wisdom in your body to make sure that your body functions at optimum potential. So innate intelligence is always working for you. Whether that means that you have a sniffle, you have snot coming out, which your body is responding to kind of either internal resistance or external resistance. And so it's making this like snot to make it come out of your nose. Or like when you have food poisoning, it's going to cause you to vomit and to have diarrhea to get rid of the toxicity. And as your chiropractor, my job then is to locate and remove vertebral subluxation and to correct problems in your spine and nerve system that would interfere with that potential, with that innate intelligence being at its maximum. Because when innate intelligence is allowed to do its job, you have the opportunity to be at your very best. So sorry for the long, like having to do it twice because it didn't have volume. But anyway, write the word vomit and then connect it to innate intelligence. And that's your whiteboard for today. Tomorrow's whiteboard is going to be thermostat versus thermometer. I love that one. That also always got lots of wonderful feedback from practice members. So I hope this helps. Again, remember, if you have a whiteboard topic and you're not sure how to bring it up with practice members, or let's say there's a specific challenge that you're having in communicating with your practice members about a specific topic, whether it's like ongoing care, maybe it's referrals or whatever, put it down below. I'll be happy to do a Facebook training on it and offer you my advice and my opinion on how to overcome that. So be great. Take massive action. I appreciate you being with me today, and I'll catch you again on the flip side tomorrow. See ya.